Welcome to Dean's List.
So
I'm your host, Dean Kitaboski, and we are about to talk to some really interesting people.
Mm-hmm. Get ready.
Are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready?
Cool. All right, let's go.
Football games.
Right.
So then after that's dead.
One.
I was going to say, I assume so.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, Ernie.
Right, thank you. Thank you for inviting
Owner
me.
of Crazy Dough Pizza.
How we doing, everybody?
So after football games is high tide.
Yes.
Yeah. That's like a universal thing. I always go after a football game. So
I've noticed this year it's been well, maybe with a lot of noon games, I've noticed that, between the hours of like 4 and 6 it used to be really busy. And this year, it kind of like shifted to where like 12 to 2 was, gangbusters.
right.
And then 4 to 6 after the game, it's like, what's going on here? What's happening? And I asked a lot of the kids on campus, and they're like, we are crashing in our dorms.
Yeah.
It's like I get it now. So I've seen it now all year, and I love it. I love the atmosphere. I've been over on some of the tailgates, and it's been amazing over there. And you guys are like tailgating at 8 in the morning. Like I could definitely see why now
It's ridiculous.
at 5 in the afternoon you're passing out for a couple hours.
The constant noon games, because we didn't have a single night game this year, which
Yeah.
I'm sure is reflective of when people are coming in. Not a single night game. 1 3 o'clock game for Parents' Weekend, and then just noon. So everyone's up at 8, going out to the tailgate, whatever, and then post game just immediately get food, go to bed.
Yeah. It definitely was a different culture shock this year, seeing the different change of with the games, time schedules, and everything. But
Yeah.
I was more than overjoyed going to some of those tailgates and seeing how many people how many of you guys are really enjoying this year, and it's been amazing. Not only for the kids, support the kids on the team, but like all of you guys really enjoying, being a BC student and all the activities over there. It was awesome. It was amazing.
Plus, huge step up being pretty good at football this year.
Yes.
Definitely, and hockey, obviously, and basketball. I heard we're going to be good. It is nice
Yeah.
to have that culture to build around as well.
Oh, couldn't believe it. I went to opening day for the boys and women's basketball games, and to see all the kids and see all you guys like surrounding the court is like chills. It's like bring chills. It's like awesome. I'm like to see you guys in that element is amazing. I love it. I love the the college atmosphere, and I'm sure the kids appreciate it on the team even more. But it's really awesome.
Yeah, we talked to, I don't know if you've been following the Barstool account BC has. Do you know about that?
A couple times I've seen it.
It crops up like here and there. They're putting out a lot of the themes for the hockey games and like trying to build culture. And the guy that runs it's one of my good buddies. He's just over the moon that they've got the culture this year, because it wasn't there last year, frankly. And he was really excited to have it back.
Yeah, the guy. He has to definitely build a program, and the quality of kids he brings in, they're amazing. They've been to my store on the weekend sometimes, and they're a bunch of great kids. And I'm psyched for everybody, to get out there and support the kids, but also these kids actually. It's one thing I've always talked to you about too. It's like to bring in students who really like and love being a BC student and being at the campus and everything. It's a culture change that I've seen over the last 4 years, and the energy is just amazing.
How has the energy changed over the last couple of years? First off, how long has Crazy Dough been a staple of the BC community?
Well, I started 8 years ago.
Okay.
And with 8 years ago, it wasn't, from what I remember when I was a kid coming here watching games with my uncles and my father and stuff, I had a different view of it as a kid. I was in awe of everything, I was like in it. I'm like, I want to do this. Oh my God, this is like amazing. But then when I opened up a shop here 8 years ago, it was a very different atmosphere. I don't think kids actually enjoyed the campus. I don't say that people just weren't having fun, in and around Boston. A lot of the kids be like, it snows all the time. Coming in my store, and it was like come on, like this is where I live. I live in Boston. I'm like, this is like amazing. Like, you kidding me? It's like, get out there. It's like, get to the hockey games. Because I remember me driving to when I was your guys' age, driving to CBC play BU and away games. I was like, really, you're not going to away games? Like, what do you mean you're not going to away games? I'm going to wait. It's like, let's go. You know, and it's just, but it's changed. Like, was it COVID? I don't know. But I do know that when the class of 24 came here, I definitely saw definitely a different energy. You know, maybe them losing, their graduations, their proms, not having any high school life. Maybe when they came here, they're like, no, we're going to enjoy this. And we're going to it's the memories. It's amazing how the energy has changed. And I love it. I love seeing it every day,
Right.
COVID or no, I don't know, because
I mean, I completely see that. I think COVID was the defining factor for a couple, not even just class of 24, a couple of the grades coming in here. Because when they were given the opportunity, they took advantage of it to see their friends, to go to the events. And I don't know what it was like before that, obviously. We went to a high school with no real school culture, so this was totally new to us in that sense. But it's definitely changed even from last year. I know that going to a hockey game was not a big to-do. I went to maybe 2 or 3 last year, including the Bean Pod, which was awesome. But I made the commitment to myself to show up more this year, and that was before I knew that we were going to be the best team in the country. Yes. And that's just an example. Like football too, kids stay longer than they did last year, more entertained obviously by the good team maybe. And I don't know, a lot of people didn't have the opportunity to go out during COVID, so now take advantage of it,
Oh God, it has definitely brought a different awareness to not only college life or college atmosphere, but to everybody's. It's like almost that community feeling. And I know people always talked about the BC community and all that stuff. I never really saw it until these last few years. It's like, you guys enjoy every moment of your life on campus, and it's like, if there's someone who lives here, it's just amazing, I feed off that energy as well in my store, and it's like, boy, I saw it through some hockey 4 years ago, and I was like, because I went to a lot of games before the class 24 freshmen came into the door, and then that class was a really great hockey class as well, and I saw the atmosphere, and I'm like, this is different, and they won that first home game, and I'm like, that building was rocking, and I was like, now this is what I remember. And you guys have every single year, 20, 25, 26, it's like all you guys have just continued the positive energy, and I'm blessed, and I thank you, because it keeps me going.
Right.
You've made BC, all you students, every single one of you have added to the journey of Crazy Dough, and I'm like, you all have your own stories. It's just not about athletes. It's not about the teachers or BC athletics. It's every student on campus who comes in my store. I enjoy every day hearing about what you guys have gone through today, classes you're doing, projects. I just love hearing about everything. And you guys all of you have allowed Crazy Dough to be part of that, and I'm so thankful.
Yeah. When I got here, I didn't realize what a big deal Crazy Dough was. I will say, I don't know if I've ever told you this. On my visit day 2 years ago, my dad and I stopped into Crazy Dough to get pizza. And when we told the lady at the front that I was visiting and hoping to come here, she gave me the pizza for free. So I don't know if I was supposed to tell you that.
No, that's of course.
But Crazy Dough, I could clearly see when I got here as a staple, and it's interesting to see how that's formed. What kind of methods did you use to get yourself ingrained like that?
Well,
other than being just nice and awesome.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm sure my daughter has a lot to say about that, but my parents. But honestly, I always believed that I always want to, and I opened my store when I was younger to connect people through my food. And I don't know if maybe during the pandemic or slightly before that, because I thought I had lost that. I had thought I was maybe I had some doubts in myself, the store, maybe I'm not communicating, maybe I'm not connecting with people through my food anymore. But no, you guys, every single one of you guys have like put it upon yourselves, and like you've come in my store and you've enjoyed the food, and it was everything I could hope for. Everything that it just reinforced everything I believed in about this is why I do it, you know, and this is why I always wanted to be my own boss and open my own store, you know, because it was never about, in the beginning it was maybe for like 1 year I wanted to like rule the world, you know, I was like, I'm going to be the greatest pizza man, but it was never.
You're going to be Papa John.
You know, yeah, I wanted to, like, he stole my story, it's my life. No, but after a few years, I saw, like, because I was right across from Merrimack College, and I would see some of the kids come in, and it's like, and then they would like enjoy the food, you know, and they would come up to the counter and they'd be like, "You can't be the owner." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the owner." Like, "No, you're like 26." I'm like, "Yeah, it's okay." Like, "We see you at the bars." I'm like, "Yeah, no, you don't." And I was like, don't come up to me. I'm like, no, but it's like, it was never about that. It was about always, and that's why I'm so thankful for every single one of you guys. Like I said, you guys all have allowed me these last 4 years, 5 years, to allow me to do what I love to do again, and believe in myself, and I believe in every single one of you kids, and that's why I enjoy seeing every single and hearing everything about you guys. Because if there's any way I can support any one of you guys, whether it's going to a game, asking you about your family, whatever it is, like, I want to hear it all, you know, because there isn't no Crazy Doll without every single student at BC, and I will always believe that forever. You know, I'm so grateful and thankful.
Speaking of connecting with the BC community, I know that you have strong connections to, you said, the men's soccer team, and I also know the women's softball team and a couple of the other teams on campus. How have you, strengthened your connections with those teams over the last couple of years?
Well, softball was amazing. It was like almost started out with a smaller group, and it was before the nil stuff and everything. It was a smaller group who come in every single day. Never knew they were softball athletes at all, and they promoted, and something about they enjoyed about the food, and all of a sudden I was like, I would see kids come in, and I'm like, wait a second, now they're ordering the same slice that these girls liked, you know. Yeah. So I'm like, what's going on here, you know? And
they have like a niche slice they liked?
Yeah. Oh, it was the balsamic in the beginning.
Okay.
And the balsamic ricotta.
Balsamic ricotta pizza.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's almost...
You like that one, Lita?
Love that pizza.
It's weird because, like, when it comes to the balsamic, you always think, like... And I used to ask them these questions, too. They're probably like, why is this guy asking us these questions when they were, like, freshmen? Yeah. But I was like, so what girls, don't you girls like to eat pizza all the time? And these girls are like, on the softball team, they're like, yep, whatever, throw this, we try every slice. They were loving it. They were testing every slice, and then a few of the girls got caught on the balsamic. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait a second, there's a lot of kids coming in
asking for a balsamic ricotta pizza.
Yes. And I was like, okay, so now I knew there was something special going on here, and it just, then I said, then when it came to, like, baseball, baseball and hockey were always something I supported when I first got here, and I'd go to a few games here and there, and hockey, always would go to hockey games, and during the pandemic, I always supported them through the school, through athletics, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do softball. And this past year, I started doing soccer as well. It's a lot harder to do every single sport. I'm a small business owner, so the best I can do is, like, I can't be there for every athlete, but I go to whenever I can, but to support them through the athletic department, it's a lot.
Right.
It is a lot. But the athletic department here really, really, really started catering to my business 5 years ago. And they really are really so helpful. They made sure, like, almost like took care of me, like almost like their child. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy way to describe that.
Yeah, it was like they were like, they're like, we're gonna help you, we're gonna guide you, because I didn't even know what I was doing, and they were like, no, they started doing the crazy dose fan of the game and everything on baseball, and I give away free pizzas, so then after learning that, and coming off their ideas, and that's when I started doing the free slices at the soccer games for every home game, just to like give it back to everybody I can, so like I'm learning and they're allowing me to learn as I go, so, but I wish it's a lot harder to sponsor everything, but I've enjoyed being part of the BC Athletics.
Yeah, there's got to be a lot of moving pieces.
It is
a couple different teams.
It is. It's a lot, but I then try to like. Because I have like unmedicated ADHD probably. Like, I try to like just focus like one task at a time, and when I finish that, then I will go on to the next. I've learned that's the only way I could do it. But that's another thing too. It's like a lot of the girls who also on the softball team and the basketball team and they helped me with a lot of decisions I made going for like every decision. Like I couldn't even imagine how a college student who was 19 years old would talk to me or wait for me to send them over a contract that BC sent me, and would sit down and spend their summer with me on text, trying to help me out. Like who would that's how blessed I am, And then this past summer, like some of these girls on the softball team, or like some of the swim teams and like volleyball teams, like they're away in Europe for doing their summer school, and they're texting me back designs, texting me back stuff because I opened up a Crazy Dough merchandise line. The merchandise line. Like they're telling me what would look good on a sweatshirt while they're in Italy studying.
They were right.
Or not studying.
Or not.
Or not. It's like I don't remember me doing that at 19 years old, speaking to the local pizzeria guy, and I'm like, how blessed am I to like have that available, that like all these kids care so much about what they're involved in.
Right.
And it's just.
You also did a great job with the merchandise. You're wearing something now, obviously.
Yes, all designed by the girls.
It's fantastic. I have the pink and white one, the
pink,
sweatshirt.
Yep.
I love that sweatshirt. It's so nice. And the trucker hats.
The trucker hats, please. I could have a whole story that would take the whole podcast about the trucker hats.
What happened to the trucker hats? Oh no.
No. I have. It's So I started out with the baseball hats. That was like, I'm gonna do baseball hats. All right. Ooh. But then a few of the girls, senior girls, like, no, trucker hats are the way to go. Those are in style.
Yeah, they are.
And I was like, I'm sitting there going, what is a trucker hat? And then I'm like, so let me start Googling trucker hats. And then now, because that puts me down a rabbit hole for like a couple of days of like Googling styles of trucker hats and sending the girls all pictures of trucker hats and waiting for answers and back and forth.
You just have a weird search history at this point.
Yeah, I'm like, and then I'm like, of course, after I talk to them, I got to talk to my wife. About halfway through the summer, that she was like, I am sick and tired of talking about trucker hats. Enough with the trucker hats. And I'm like, well, I ordered them. She's like, I don't want to talk about them. It's like,
not a word.
And then they came in. And then all of a sudden, Melissa, my wife, she's like, she couldn't stop wearing them. I'm like, would you? I go, the kids are coming back in August. Can you please like wait? And like, she was like wearing them all summer. I'm like, stop.
Look how the fans switch up.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's like,
they look good. The trucker hats look really good.
I think the pink and the white one came out really nice.
That one looked really good.
That
one looked real good.
So yeah, next year hopefully we'll try a little different colors, because the black and gray does look excellent, But I think I want to go with a different baseball cap. Okay. I do like this, but I wanted to go with some like blue and yellow colors.
Okay.
But
speaking of yellow, the super fan shirts you guys made too. What are the crazy fan shirts?
The crazy fan.
The crazy fan. How are
Yes.
those selling? Those got to be popular.
Those are really good.
Yeah.
Those are really good. Those are designed by a girl on the rowing team. Who
Okay.
I also sponsor the rowing team as well, and so gave a few ideas. I'm like, hey, I have a few ideas. I started blasting it out through all the communications and everything, to text and everything, and then all of a sudden one of the girls came up to me and she's like, nah, you gotta do crazy fan, not super fan. So then
Yeah.
I was like, all of a sudden, as soon as I put out the word crazy fan, all the text started blowing up. Yes, 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 that's the way to go. And I gave it to Lindsay on the rowing team, and she designed it for me in a couple days, the whole entire shirt.
Damn.
I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have designed a shirt. I make pizzas. I don't. How blessed I am. She's like designing it again.
You make one form of art. They do the other one.
Yeah, it's like, it's like, and it came out, and I saw it come off the assembly line and everything, and I was like, so I was telling my t-shirt guy, I'm like, dude, can I videotape this? Like all the girls and all the guys want I could put this on the Crazy Dough page. It's like they want to see this. He's like, no, don't do that. I'm like this is material. Like he's like, no, just put the box. I'm like, all right.
Just put the box.
Put in
Just
the
put the box in there.
Just put the box in your car. And I'm like, all right. But when I saw it come off the little assembly line, I was like, oh, that does that. I'm like, is that a tear? No, it's not a tear. I'm like, wow, it looks awesome. I was like, I'm not crying. You crying?
It's not me. It's not me. It's all you.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That's awesome.
It
That
was
is awesome. And that shirt's got to be really popular because
Yes.
that used to be a big thing before we got here. That was a huge thing.
Oh, when
apparently.
you guys decided when they had decided to do Gold Night or Gold Day or whatever for the game,
Yeah.
dude, I must sell about 30 of them.
Really?
Oh yeah. I was like, I got gold. I got gold. Right
I got
here.
gold. I got
Right?
you. No one has gold. they announced that no one owns gold. That's the perfect time.
Even I
Yeah.
don't. I have one of my hockey game jerseys I have is gold,
Okay.
but I can't go to the games. I can't do a football game. It's too busy for me to do a football game. But I can do the tailgate for a little while, for a couple hours, but then game time starts, I got to be in that store.
Right.
But
That's high time. I get that. Yeah.
it's fun.
Anyway, those shirts have got to be completely sold out at this point. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think I've got 11 smalls. That's all I got left.
Yeah.
Don't even know why. My wife comes up. My wife's on the Saturday. She comes in late night on Saturday nights, and she's like, "Why do you have 15 smalls?" I'm like,
Because no one wears small.
I don't know. I'm like, I ordered them. He told me to get all these kind of sizes. He's
Yeah.
like, why would you get 15 smalls? I'm like,
Who knows?
we'll figure it out. I don't know. I can hang them up in the store.
They look
and
good.
just-
They'll look good as decoration at a minimum.
Yeah.
There you go, like that.
It came out good, and
Mm.
like I said, there was no way I could ever. Some of the even the pinks, in the whites. I know it was a Bobby Summer. I get the Bobby Summer. But some of the white sweatshirt with the pink logo and it's just, and then the pink with the white, amazing color choices. And the girls help me out too with if you're gonna do merchandise, you need to do colors that not only just pink, but you got to do colors. They're teaching me that would every student would like. So
Right.
everybody would like a gray or black. I would be whatever. I wouldn't think of that stuff. So they've helped me with every aspect of the Crazy Dough merch from
Right.
the ground up. So I'm just excited to see what summer stuff is. That's the only thing I've had. The only problem I've had with the Crazy Dough merch, even going back to the nil stuff, is a spring line. I just don't know what to do for spring
Right.
yet. That will be some time out to figure that out.
It's a good thing you have some good options to go around, though. Speaking of nil stuff, though, how has anything changed since then? I know you're a lot more involved with some of the teams. You have a picture of the softball team hanging on the wall.
Yes.
How has that changed, the way that you're investing in these teams?
Well, to me, when the nil started was, when I noticed that I was always, supporting them with the stuff on the walls and in the outfields. My name's in the outfields, and they want me to also do a banner at the soccer stadium at field, which is great. I love it, but also I wanted to do the nil to also to like make sure that the kids who support the store actually really get what's, you know, for them, you know, not just for their programs, which I will always support their programs, but also want to show the support from my store to them through that nil athlete program, you know, and I sat down, I think it was 2 years ago, and that's when I started putting together everything with the help of BC Athletics, with the help of Accelerant Sports, and like they were the ones who then put together the format after all the girls with their ideas we all put together, and that's when it started to like really the wheels in motion started to turn, you know. And it's, you know, all the girls have to do is, you know, post on their Instagram, and because at first I was like, oh yeah, just do TikTok. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
And the girls are like, no, not
do more than that.
Yeah, no. They're like, no. Let's move you into Instagram, because again, like, no idea. I had no idea, and then like they all like, no, Instagram's the way to go. All the athletes, they'll post that they're sponsored by Crazy Dough, and so they'll do 3 posts a month, you know, and then it's amazing. They come in and they take pictures of their food, and they have lunch and dinner after practice or before practices. You know, I have students who aren't athletes, because it's even though it's like the Crazy Dough program is more than just about athletes too. I have students that are sponsors as well, you know, and because it is about supporting, you know, every student that, you know, I can.
I know you work with Bobby Hymans too. You work with a
Yes.
couple of other students. Yeah.
Bobby's energy is amazing. That kid, he's amazing.
Bobby's awesome.
I love him.
he's a podcast alum, actually. I don't know if he told you that.
Really?
He's been on the podcast before. Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I love seeing him come in. He
Great
comes
guy.
in. Oh, I follow him on all the stuff he has in the realty. Amazing energy, you know. I know he's a junior, so what happens with late night, the lifestyle of late night is, you know, when you're a sophomore, freshman, you're late night on the weekends on Friday and Saturday up until 1. I see a lot of the kids.
Right.
But then when you get off campus, even the most hardcore late night Crazy Dough supporter, sometimes it's hard to walk here, you know, till 1 a.m. to like walk over a Crazy Dough from like 2K or something.
Yeah.
You know?
I know Bobby's kind of far. Yeah.
It's hard.
Yep.
You know. But then again, you guys come back on campus your senior year and you're in mods or in Iggy's, or
Right.
and then I get you guys back again for a late night. You know.
That's an interesting culture. Apparently, it's really rare that juniors all go off campus and then seniors come back. I love that culture. I think it's
Yes.
awesome. Everyone
Oh.
needs to come back.
Yes. And I know that, you know, I'm sure that every parent would love to have their kid living 4 years in a dorm and they know exactly where they are. But again, you need to going out and being on your own with a bunch of friends in an apartment for a year. It's, you know, it's growth, you know.
It makes you realize how little you want to do that.
It's a lot, you know. It's a lot, you know. I moved out when I was 22, and every day I was fighting to get back home, you know. I was like, wish I could have lived at home for as long as I could.
Yeah.
But those weren't the options for me, you know. But
It's always funny going home for breaks and things like that, as you get really comfortable and all of a sudden you're like, I don't want to go back. But then you come back and everything's good again. You know?
Yeah.
It's interesting, you know.
yeah, you know, I remember when my daughter went away, and I was like, she was like on her own, and I'd be calling her up. I'm like, you want anything? Can I come by?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. I'm like, you sure? I'm like, talk to me. You know, hello. You know, and I was like, yeah, not until. Only time she really wanted to talk to me, which is amazing, but she's 100% opposite from me, which is like, thank God, because she's so super focused, and I was always over the place. But it was like moving day, then when she wanted to, then time to leave, and then I had to pick her up, and then she'd come home, you know, which is fun, you know, the holidays, until she got like a little older, or junior and senior year, she just wanted to be with her friends. And I looked at it like that's part of growing up, you know. And it's just you don't have to be with you. Like, I didn't want to be with my father like at 20 years old. Like when I was 20 years old, the last place I wanted to be was with my mom, You know, so I was like psyched for her. You know, even though my mother and father were like, doesn't she want to see your grandparents? No.
Yeah.
But, you know, everybody has their own fun times, you know, and how you guys, these 4 years, however you feel best to enjoy it. Enjoy it, because when these 4 years are over, that's when, like, you have to make decisions, you know, and just like what you want to do with your career and who you want to be with as a person. And those will all start when you're done here. And you're like, start defining yourself, you know, and but also never be afraid to make a mistake, ever.
Right.
It's like if you ain't making mistakes when you're older, you're not learning, you know. And everything, and I told my wife this, one of the hugest fights we ever had in our lives, and she was like, you know, she started saying about like, all the things you did in the past, you know, you could add so much. But I looked at her and I said, you know what? If I didn't have all the mistakes that I did when I was younger, I would never met you. I wouldn't be here with you today. So I know that in my heart, like the paths are laid out from learning from mistakes. So don't ever be afraid to make a mistake. You know, work hard. You know, my father always told me to work hard, because everything you do speaks about who you are. So when you do anything, that's your name. You're putting your name behind the quality of work you're doing. And don't let anybody ever say, you know, hey, that guy, this guy, that girl, because of this or that. You know, go over and above what you have to do.
Right. And I know a lot of people, obviously, it makes sense, put a lot of weight into the first job they get out of college or the first decisions they make out of college. I went to a panel a couple of weeks ago about that exactly. Like, your first job out of college, what do you do? How do you get it? What, yada, yada, yada. And the first thing they said is, you need to look at it as a first job, not your last job. You know, if you don't enjoy the first one, you up and get a new one. It's a lot of people put a lot of weight into every decision, but in reality, it's okay to make a mistake. You'll just move on and try the next thing. You know,
like, how do you know that you want to or don't want to anything in life without experiencing it? You know, so you got to experience it. You know, you have to like see what everything is about. You know, and then sit there and say, I don't like that. I like this. I love that. I don't love this. You know, I was very lucky early in life to know, like, I wasn't a good quality worker for the people that I worked for. You know, I said to myself, I'm doing injustice to this pizza shop, because all I think about all day long is, I don't want to be here. I want to own my own store, and I don't want to be here. And this guy is paying me, and I am stopping him from hiring somebody who really wants to be here, because all I'm doing is talking about to myself while I'm working is, I want to be somewhere else. I want to own my own store. Now, I opened my own store at 26, but still, like, at some point in time, I was not allowing this gentleman to hire somebody who really wanted to be where I was.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I still gave him everything I could. I still did the job to my best ability, but you know, I found out at that job I didn't want to be there.
It's tough because when you're in school, they're telling you, when you're going to try to figure out what kind of job you want, they ask you to figure out what drives you. And until recently, doing my own thing essentially wasn't really on that list. You know, entrepreneurship programs and majors have only kind of recently popped up, you know? So it's nice that it's an option now. It's a genuine option that's offered by colleges. Like, we can teach you to do that, you know?
Yeah.
If you need to go do your own thing, we can show you how to do that. But that's recent, you know? For years, that was never a thing. So you kind of figure that out.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of people's dream, so.
No, it's just, there's more options for you guys. Definitely more options for you now as students than ever was from when I was younger. You know, there wasn't, whether it was like that classroom, like I told you about the classroom where like teaching me how to like type, teaching me how to do ledgers.
Right.
Like, those aren't even options anymore. You know what I'm saying? They're like,
Well,
so,
they're just reformed. You know, they're updated. That's all it is.
yes.
Yeah.
You know, and you've have the ability now at your age to adapt a lot faster, to acquire knowledge faster than I ever could, or my generation ever did. You consume knowledge at a far greater rate, you know, and the stress that you guys are more aware of stress now as a student or as a younger adolescent than I ever was. You know, maybe there was no one helping us. There was, you know, our generations never said anything. If I was sitting, you know, getting overwhelmed by schoolwork, it was my father, my mother would be like, listen, man up. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
You like, what do you like? My father would be like, I work all day long, so I don't know what your problem is. Like, you should. And I'm like, well, Dad, I have problems, Dad. I need help here. You know, my mother would be like, their answers were always, well, would you rather be working a full-time job than not going to school?
No. Obviously, no.
Yeah. So, but now you guys have there's more understanding about mental health, you know, and it's like the struggles and stress of, you know, being a student.
Right.
And even a student, like, I wouldn't be able to even talk about what a student athlete goes through. You know, I would even, you know, like the passion and the love that they have for their sport that they've grown up playing since they were like a little kid, and their parents bringing them to like softball games, baseball games. Like, my father was a coach for my baseball team when I was a little kid, and he used to complain all the time, like, about bringing me to baseball games and towns over. But some of the stories I hear about the way they travel ball now and baseball, they're like leaving states.
Oh yeah.
You know, and basketball, like getting on a plane to go play a basketball game in another state, you know, just as a high school kid. I couldn't even imagine doing that, you know, and what that takes as an individual. And then come here and have to do with, you know, social stuff and, you know, on campus, and then deal with, you know, your schoolwork. And some of you guys are just, I'm amazed how you guys can all pull it together. It's awesome. You know, I'm inspired by all of you guys. It's amazing to see your growth, and all you guys from like freshmen to now. You know, and I see some of the kids, and that was one thing I did lose during the pandemic. I'd say I lost seeing, for 2 years. I never saw graduation, and then I never got to see some of the kids that I watched grow up have a graduation. And then when I had that first graduation after the pandemic, that was like a normal graduation, and I was like, wow. I was like, it's really touching, and really having the kids come in with their caps and gowns, coming to the store with their parents. And I had that for like 3 years, and I was like, ooh, this is really, really hurt. You know, it was like in a good way to see like things are back to normal. You know, and it's like to see you guys when you guys come in as freshmen, and then all of a sudden, like, some of the girls are nursing, and I see them in their scrubs and stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, wait a second, like, we were just having slices of pizza when you were a kid, you know, and like now it's like their careers, they're worried about their careers now, and it's like all you guys with the podcast. I'm like, I never would have, like, no way. When I was your ages, I was like, play basketball and eat food.
That's fair.
That was it.
When you can make pizza as good as you can, I'd just eat food too.
Yes, I do. I like I said, I've always loved the pizza industry. It was my first job when I was 15 years old, and $2 an hour.
$2 an hour.
$2 an hour. Yep.
I hope you bring home more than that now.
Yeah. Well, that's not about money anymore. It's never been about money. Like I said, the money. Now just the memories. Like you said, like the softball pitches on the wall and everything. So 4 years ago, all those walls were empty. Every single one of them were empty. And over the last 4 or 5 years, all you guys have filled those walls with so many memories. And that's what it's really all about, making memories. And whether it's here at this, what you do now, or whether it's at your job, make memories every day and get to enjoy those. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm just, like I said, thank you. I get those walls. There's so many more memories that I could put on those walls. I wouldn't be able to fill the store now. We're so blessed, and I just get to share them with you guys. It's awesome.
Speaking of memories, tell me a little bit about this thing you're trying to do with Jonah, because that'll definitely stick in a couple of people's minds.
Oh, yes. Yes. So for last year, he started with it. He wanted to really give back to the student body.
Mm-hmm.
And
it is his job. Student body.
He's amazing.
He's great. Jonah's great. He's also been on the podcast.
He wanted to start.
Yeah.
And he was asking me a million questions, and I'm like, you gotta focus me in here, but I give you ideas, but I need help here. You gotta get me in line, because then he was like, oh, how about we give out slices? How about we give out pizzas? How about we give out? I'm like, coupons, and I'm like, we can do all those.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just gotta figure out what you want to do and how you want to reach and give back.
Right.
Because I'm all about giving back and all about supporting, but you also want to be able to, get the most you can, and how you're going to reach as many people as you can,
Right.
and what time, the day, what kind of food.
Is it raining? Is it snowing?
Yes.
As we get closer to December. Yeah.
Yeah. So he wanted to be giving out about whenever I think it's December 6th, and we'll be giving out free slices for 2 or 3 hours until the slices are gone. And also, while you are getting a free slice, I'll also be handing out a coupon as well for a free slice. So not only will you get, the slice of your choice that day when you stop by, but you'll also be able to get your own coupon for a free slice at the store whenever you want to use it as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's Jonah's amazing.
Did he pull that whole thing together? That was his whole. Yeah.
He was, dude. He was like, we have to make this happen, and I'm like,
sure, say it.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm with you whenever you're ready. You know what I'm saying? I will support you. Just.
Is that with UGBC?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And he pulled it all together. He really has. I can help him. I can make the food. I'll give him as much food as he wants. I told you, whatever you need, 60, 70, 80 pizzas, give it away. That's it's all about, and he really, all he talked about is how much he wanted to give back.
Right.
And that's why I said, I'm with you, man.
And when I talked to Jonah, it was pretty clear that his sole intention was to make the student body feel welcome and heard, he talked about, because he wasn't on UGBC for 2 years before he was president, but he talked about how he got involved anyway. He ran I don't remember what it was. He ran some aspect of UGBC, well, not as technically associated with it. He was just trying to get involved in any way he could to give back. So when I talked to him, it seemed pretty clear that he had some big plans brewing, that he was just kind of hiding in his pocket there.
Yeah.
And you mentioned this to me a couple months ago now, that this has been something that's brewing for a little while. When did he first come to you about that? Was that earlier this year?
He came to me in May. And I'm like, dude.
Right then.
This is graduation season. I'm like,
you won the ballot and immediately walked over to Crazy Town.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Can I get through graduation first? And I got senior week coming up, and I'm like, dude, as soon as he got back on campus, and I saw him in the store, I'm like, oh man, I knew it was coming.
Here we go.
I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta put some time aside for him. I have to. And then he was just as soon as I put some time aside for him that day, he was focused, and he's been amazing.
He's a schemer.
He really has. It's a lot of, he was 4,000 slices, 5,000. I'm like, we gotta figure it out, man. It's whatever you want, I'm like, 3,000, 4 hours. I'm like, I'm with you.
If you can give away 3,000 slices of pizza in 4 hours, I'd be very impressed.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot of pizza.
It is a lot. But hey, I never ever, like I said, never want to ever if someone has an idea, and I'll always support the idea, and I'll give it 100% that I have to give, especially when it's giving back to everybody, and just
right,
because it's just a way not only to give back, but to also to reach out to as many kids as possibly I can on campus.
Right.
You know, just never know how many ways are there to reach back to a BC student.
Right.
I don't know, but this could be a way for myself to market.
Definitely a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a great one.
You know, I remember back in the day there used to be, and I don't know how people do it now, but I remember it used to be Herd.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Herd's having a weird moment right now. I don't know what's going on with Herd. Kind of falling apart.
Really?
Some competitor came in.
Oh,
and,
Jesus.
You know, Herd is like it's mainly freshmen, like
Is it?
the bulk of it, and then obviously you've got people in every grade on it, obviously. But this new app came in and just targeted the freshmen, so all the freshmen are on this new thing.
Oh,
that,
my God.
That new thing was clearly using bots and like fake accounts and stuff, so like everyone got bored of it pretty quickly. So now no one's on either of them. It's like
That's
weird situation.
Yeah, and I remember 4 years ago when Herd was in the freshman 24, and I remember that's when I first started doing late night, and there was some kids who always would come in late night around 12:45, and I'd have 10 or 11 slices still left, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with these slices? And some of these girls would be they'd come in with some of the guys, and they'd be like, we're going on Herd right now, and we're gonna tell them we have 11 pizzas left, and then all of a sudden 10 minutes later, bang, the store was jam packed.
Yeah.
You know, and I was and I almost forget about those times. It's I was giving some pizzas out during midterms to some of the kids, and I was delivering to some of the kids, and I saw her at Iggy with her and her friends, and she had told me the story about her, and I remembered it. So I was driving away. I was like, that's right. I remember those girls. Where the girls would come late night around 12:45, and they'd go on Herd. And it was that was just a memory that I always have. You know, it's amazing. All the memories I have, just so blessed. You know, just Herd and that's what the Instagram does as well too with the nil stuff. That also
Right. Yeah. Get people interested.
That also helps out too. You know, to reach. So when a freshman becomes a nil athlete, and then she's posting about all the food that she gets or the slice of pizza that she had, then all of a sudden it's the girls come in, they tell me dude, everybody on my floor asked me if I'm a crazy little athlete, and I'm like, really? Yeah. I got 300 more followers already. I'm like, that's awesome. You know, it's great for you. You know, I love that. You know, that didn't happen when I was a kid.
Right. What kind of I mean, I don't know if you can disclose any of this, but what kind of stuff is offered in the NIL package? Is it free pizza, merchandise, stuff like that?
Yeah, so the merchandise always is for free.
Okay.
You know, it's again, like I said before, seasonal. I still haven't come up with a spring line yet. I don't know. I'm trying my best, you know, but it's been a long time since I've ever ordered or purchased any clothes for athletes or any students. So
on that note, how does the merchandise sell? Just as a whole?
The merchandise, it's
because it looks good.
Yeah, no, and
it's like a walking billboard too. It's really nice. Yeah.
Yes, no, it sells well. You know, I'm still on my first run, but I also, the first run was I got 45 sweatshirts of every size.
Yeah.
And then the beanies are, are just starting to sell now because it's getting a little colder. You know, so the trucker hats sold. The black and silver trucker hats sold out. You know, I bought extra of the pink just in case, so I still have some pinks left. But it's amazing. I've never, I'm a pizza guy. Here I am, now I'm selling merchandise, and I'm kids are asking me, can I get a small? Can I get a large? And I'm like, wait, you want 3 pizzas? And I can't do it all here.
You mean pizza or you mean sweatshirt? What do you?
So now I'm doing the sweatshirts, and it's awesome, and so when the nil stuff comes, is that so whatever merchandise I get their sizes, or I get their some of the girls designed their own jersey, their own sweatshirts last year. The softball team designs all their own sweatshirts,
right?
And as far as the rowing team, women's rowing team, also designed their own sweatshirts this summer, which was an amazing experience to work with them, and so they pick the colors, they pick everything. So that's all included in being a Crazy Dough athlete. Then whatever, they get 3 posts a month for $50, but whenever they come in and they post the pictures of their food, that food is for free.
Okay.
You know, so that'll be their free. That's their free food. You know, because they're posting pictures of it. I'm not gonna be like, put it back. No, it's yours. Please take it, enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
You can eat the pizza. It's fine.
Yeah.
So-
They can take 9 pictures of it. I'm like, it's yours.
This is a
Enjoy it.
really good deal. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worked out well for all the students. You know, and like even what Crazy Dough in the future will be. As a nil athlete, I'm not sure what the future will be. I always want to give back, but at some point in time, each athlete, as they grow in worth, will they sit there and they say, I hope not. I hope they want to, they see what it was really built on. It's not about the money. It was really built on me, a way to give back, not about like, hey, I'm a star athlete. I'm worth $500 a pitcher. It's really not. To me, it's not about that. I'm not saying they don't deserve it. But it just.
It's not what you're going for.
Yeah.
Frankly, yeah.
Yeah. It's just because I do enjoy seeing the kids come in, taking pictures and the stuff, and some of their ideas are amazing. Some of the pitches they do and how they do the boomerangs and all that. It's like amazing. To watch it all, and like they put the songs behind it. So they're all so talented and care so much. And again, like just another form of me being blessed of how much each of them enjoy it.
Right. I mean, you've definitely implemented yourself as a staple in the BC community, and we are running out of time. So I wanted to give you the opportunity to, tell everyone what your Instagram handle is. Your website, if you have anything to say there.
Oh, that's my wife's stuff. Oh my God, it's Crazy Dough Pizza BC. It's Instagram. And I just wanted to say, thank you for your time today.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
It's been amazing. I know that you also wanted to do this for a few months and stuff, and I've never had the time for you. But
No, you're a busy man. I get it.
Oh.
It's hard running the most important spot on BC campus.
No,
I'm allowed to go all in on the flattery. I'm allowed to.
well, thank you, but it's
it's
enjoyable. Each and every one of you. Thank you, being part of the BC community. Like you all say, I am, which. Thank you. Never would have thought that doing this was going to end up where I am today, and it's all because of each and every one of you students.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming, Ernie. Appreciate that.
Anytime.
Send them off, Lena.
That's it.